What up, everyone? I'm here to make a quick video of my intraday setup that I use. First, to start with, I do have an ultra wide screen, so I just kind of want to mention that. But I'm going to make a video of how I build out my intraday view. So, starting off, I use the number one for all my main trade screens, and then I go ahead and add four different windows. I'll put the number one here as well. On my first one, I always load my standard color, so this is your preference. This is gonna be my main intraday chart, and then I have to drop my studies, which I have my intraday chart. On this second one, I'm gonna use the same, my style, which is how I like to visually see my charts. And this I usually leave on the hourly, 4 hour, 1 hour, whatever it may be. And this is my clean setup where I just have RSI and volume on it. From these two, I take off the sidebars, and that's basically all I do for these two. For this one, um, this is going to be the most complex one, or I'm going to have a couple different charts as well as my time and sales. So I've dropped two right here, and at the bottom one, I put my tick chart. This one, I load my style. I do something a little bit different for this. Under settings, I come here and I go to appearance and I change this to a line bar and I make it all the same color. I like to use this blue color, just kind of goes with my charts. And then I have my tick settings right here. And then here I actually put the VIX. And I'd leave the VIX on like a 5 minute on this chart. And I'm going to bring these down so I can work on these other charts up here at the top. At the top, I put my number one because I wanted to go with these. Drop another one, number one. Make this a little bigger so we can see it better. This bottom one will be my level two. And this top one's going to be my time and sales. Come here, hit time and sales. Then on my time and sales, I make two different windows. And I'll show you why. And I make another one down here. And that's kind of how I build out this little time and sales grid. On here, I filter them. So I filter the first one by 100. So I'm not seeing every single order coming through. This one I do by 500. So it's like my medium to larger size orders. And this one I filter to 1,000. So it's like the really big orders that are coming in. I do this as I'm watching the tape and I'm watching it flow in. I can see when we're starting to get really big pushes and bigger orders. And then I'll come back and adjust these all at the end. So here I use Active Trader, and I don't have a chart on it. And I'll go through it. So the first thing I do is I come here, I remove cancel, reverse, flatten, move quantity buttons up, and take these off. I add buy bid, buy ask, buy bid. I usually just cancel all just to get out of anything I'm in. I add position indicator and sell ask and sell bid. Then I move this all the way to the top. Then buy bid all the way to the top. Then I put my quantity, sell ask, sell bid. I like to move my cancel all up. My position indicator and the order template selector. So that's how I do this one right here. The next, I remove this because for options, it doesn't work anyways. I take off volume. One cool trick on here that you can do is you can add P&L open or not if you want. If you do add P&L open, it'll show you actually your live P&L and dollar amounts right here, negative or positive. I don't like to do that because I don't like to see my P&L while I'm trading. So I don't put that. Next, I like to slide this over to where we're about right there, 20. So I have my buy the ask, join the bid, how if I can quickly get in and out of contracts. Same, selling, join the ask, sell the bid. I cancel if I'm ever in a contract, I want to get out, I can cancel. And the template, sometimes I do put a 10% or 15% auto stop loss, so it sets my stops. The big thing here as well is make sure you click your auto send on. Then I go ahead and adjust these to fit. I'll bring all of these over. I make this a little bit bigger. I'd like to bring this one up a lot. Since this is the biggest filter size, I don't really need to see too many, so that's probably good enough. And we actually see the time and sales and everything moving, you can make adjustments. Here, I like to split these both about half and half. And I'll turn this off so you can see. Then a couple things of how I get in and out of contracts. Why I put this on number 2 is on my other screen right here for my current P&L. If you look, I have a couple of filters. So I have number 2. So whenever I have contracts here, I can click this and it'll adjust here. And same with my stocks. So as I click them, it'll make adjustments. So that's how I use these. So I can quickly switch stocks or switch different things I want to look at in and out, and it goes to where I need it to go. The other thing I do on here too, just how I switch options fast pretty quickly, is if you hit this little down arrow and you go over to options and you click here, you can actually go to option contracts a lot faster. So I create a daily watch list, and here's the symbols on my watch list right now. So for this sake, we'll use SPY, and it pulls up all the strike prices, and I can switch from calls to puts fairly fast. Today's expirations, tomorrow's, you can maneuver this as much as you want, how many you want showing. I usually do 6, and that way I can switch in and out pretty fast if I'm ever changing my mind or anything like that. So that's a quick tutorial on my intraday setup. I'll kind of go over what I have here as well, just to kind of round things off. I have a couple studies or scripts that show. I use RSI a lot. I just use it as extra confirmation for myself. I've been using it for a long time. So other things I have right here, I have the DTR versus the ATR, which is the current daily range versus what the average true range is. So this just gives me an idea of where we are as far as movement and how far we've moved up or down on the stock compared to recent history. I have this light yellow line. This is the opening price of the daily stock. I have this white line, which is closing price. The lighter orange and the dark orange is pre-market high, pre-market low. And the red and the green are yesterday high and yesterday low. And then in the middle is the VWAP. And that's what's on my chart. I like to look at those levels, especially since I mainly scalp. It gives me an idea of where we're at, especially compared to the previous days, what the candle looks like, etc. So that's my intraday setup. I am going to share this and I'll put it in my bio so that if you want to copy this or use this, you can go ahead and take a copy of this. Thank you.